ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. We continue with our recitation from Rag Dev Gandhari, composition of Bahla Panjwa, the fifth Nanak, Gur Arjan. And in the Rahao, which is at the very outset, the Guru says, Prabh ji, tau Prasad Brahm Dharyo, तुमरी कृपा ते सबको अपना मन में यह विचार्यो. Prabh ji. Now, the self is being addressed. Prabh is the light within, the controlling light, the wisdom. So Prabh ji, O revered master, O revered wisdom, Tau Prasad, through your grace. Grace also means insight. So that Prabh or that Har gives us its insight, which is intuitive awareness. Tau Prasad, through your grace, meaning through your compassion, through your gift, because it is a gift, you see. It is not something that you can actually do on your own, because you have to be completely relaxed and it comes on. You cannot strive for it because it's the ego that is striving. I often provide the example of falling asleep. You can't force yourself to fall asleep. You just fall into it. Likewise here. So, Tau Prasad, Brahma Dharyo, the delusion was shed. What was that delusion? The distinction between the self and others, the fact, the illusion of the world being permanent, not seeing the unchanging self behind it, of thinking that I am the center of the universe. Tumri kripa te sabko apna. Through your kindness, through the insight that you have given me, I now, bicharyo, man mein hai eh bicharyo, I now know, I now think, sabko apna. I treat everyone as my own. That's the lesson learned. So you see, we reached out to the self through attentive listening, through attentive observation of the world, by cultivation of virtue, by making every effort to obliterate the ego, and that effort made us attractive to the self. It was drawn. It draws us to itself because the ego is its polar opposite. So the more you get rid of the ego, the more magnetically you're pulled towards the self. Inside. You have to govern the inside in order to control the outside. So the result of that reaching out with humility is that one has been given as a gift this insight of oneness. Sabko apna man mein eh bicharyo, oneness, the interdependent reality outside, the interconnectedness of everything. We are a vast network. We are like nodes in a network that receive and send signals from one place to the other. We are dependent on each other. That's the Rahao message. And then in the first verse after that, what happens as a result of this insight? Kot paradh mite teri seva, darshan dukh utaryo. Kot paradh mite. Countless faults, errors in judgment are obviated. in your service, meaning when I reach out to you, O Master, to the source, to that intelligence, and I begin to see things for what they really are, that saves me from committing a million errors. Darshan dukh utaryo, that vision. Darshan is vision, philosophy, thought process. It also means physical vision. You begin to see the world differently. It's the same world out there, but what was ordinary to you or boring becomes extraordinary through this vision. When you see the connectedness of everything, that is indeed a wonder. So, kot parad mite teri seva, darshan dukh utaryo, naam japat maha sukh payo, chinta rog vidaryo. This is the other aspect. Again, naam japat. You remember we talked about japat, realization. Here, naam japat implies contemplation, reflection, and recitation, the power of words. You see that process. So Naam is a process, but Naam is also that numinous reality behind what you see, what you're trying to grasp. So Naam is the end, it is the wisdom, it is also the process, all rolled into one. In order to connect, in order to get onto that process, you have to engage your entire being, which means all of your senses have to be engaged, including the tongue. And the tongue is very significant in this. When you recite Gurbani, the words actually begin to transform you. Hence the importance of recitation, but japat should not be treated just as a repetition, but must be accompanied by profound contemplation and then cultivation. So you get the picture. And the Guru goes on. It's not just that you're not committing errors. It is also that your grace, he says, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Chut, Ninda. I have given up. In other words, I've controlled myself. I've controlled my lust. I've controlled my anger, my greed, and slander. I no longer do that because I found the company of the sadhu. Sadhu Sangha Bisaryo. Sadhu is a reference to a perfected being, and in Gurbani, it means the Guru. So, and it also means the self, because between the self and the Guru, there really is no difference, technically speaking. Maya band kate kirpa nidh. Maya band kate, the gracious self, relieved me of my bondage to the world play. Nanak aap udaryo, and it freed me. Udaryo, I evolved beyond the bondages of the body and the mind. In other words, I achieved self-mastery. That is where we are going with all of this. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.